Today we're going to speak about land leasing. There's a lot of myths out there as to what it is. So let me guide you through what the options are. So what is land leasing? So there's a lot of myths, like I said, out there on Google as to what it is. It's basically this. You own your home, someone else owns the land. So you don't own the land. You have a common share or common interest in the land. Similar to a condo, but it's land leasing. So there are nuances or differences. So you don't own the land, but you own your home. So some people would be afraid and say, well, does that gain equity? Like, can I build equity in my home? Oh yeah, definitely. The majority of land leased ownership in the past 5 years has gone from between 75,000 if it's a mobile home up to a regular brick bungalow with attached garage. They bought at 250 and now they're selling the 75,000s are selling at 350 to the brick bungalow elements or homes at probably about 600,000 and up, depending on what equity you've put into it. Because remember, you can build equity in any home if you own it long enough, you well maintain it, and you upgrade it. So what does that mean? So you don't own the land, so you're paying fees for the land. It's called a rent or a lease. In particular, if you call it a lease, then you know you're actually signing a lease agreement, which gives you specific rights, like it would any home ownership, like a condo owner. You're entitled to peace and quiet. You're entitled not to be harassed. Within rules and regulations, you can enjoy the land. But you pay the monthly fees. Now, monthly fees can go anywhere between $350 and $1,200. And depending on where it is in Niagara, that $300 could include taxes, or it can go up and the taxes can be added. It's up to you, the buyer, it's up to the seller agent to educate your buyer rep on what those fees are. Now, do the fees go up? Yes, they do. So if you have a buyer rep who doesn't know anything about land leasing, and you have a seller rep who doesn't know anything about land leasing, as to what those fees go up by and how they go up. Are there multiple steps that they can go up by? And what are those steps? The reason why land leasing is created. Land leasing is created usually in Niagara, it's senior based or resort based. So let's put aside the resort based, because resort based, they're usually seasonal. So they're open from May 1st to October 1st. The full year living communities, they're basically what people are doing is they're trying to see if they don't have a good pension, they need to free up some money to live on probably until their 80s, until they go to that long-term care living or eventually an apartment. Usually these type of communities, land lease communities, give you some sort of freedom, some sort of privacy area that a lot of condos don't offer. So what you're looking at is you're looking at like-minded people, and my focus has always been on 55 and up. So elderly people that are independent want that last bit of independence before they move on to the apartment or long-term living. So it's like-minded people. So they'll gather, there'll be a clubhouse. Sometimes there's clubhouses, sometimes there isn't. That's part of the approval process for you purchasing there, is to be approved by the company and or the owners. And they decide, and it's usually, if it's a company, it's based on monetary value. So if you have a good credit rating, if you pay your bills on time, they're gonna look at that like a lender would and say, okay, yeah, you can come and live in this community. If they have a low credit rating, usually under 7.2, 7.4, they're going to be questioning, why are you living there? Are you going to be able to pay your rent? Are you going to be skipping out on your rent, lease, that sort of thing. So as previously mentioned, if your home has gone up in increments and you've earned 300 to 400,000 on your home. You bought it at 250 and your home is now worth 650. So that's a good return of investment. So this is a benefit to seniors, independent seniors who are not ready to move to an apartment or long-term care. They're not ready by a mile. But what they do want is they want independence, but they don't want the work of the large home that they have. Now they're empty nesters, they don't have kids in it, and they want to pull out their equity. So can you get mortgages? You can. It's not easy. These are not treated like regular homes because you're in a target market age group. Lenders do not like that. There's a number of other things that lenders do not like and that you will make. And remember, like condo fees, like your payments of any loan, like your car loans or leases, the lender will look at it and say, well, you're already stretched because you're paying for this, you're paying for that, and now you're paying for a lease. The lease will dictate what the lender will lend you, the amount of borrowing power that you may have. So what do I recommend? I recommend that every buyer of land leasing actually choose a realtor that has land leasing experience. And I recommend for a seller that you hire a realtor that actually has sold successfully many land lease homes and knows the rules and regulations and how to work with that company. How do I know that? I've been selling land leasing for 14 years. If there was an actual accreditation that I could claim, if RICO would let me, it would be that I know land leasing like the back of my hand. And I know how to guide clients through that process for selling and buying. So it's very easy for me to do that. And I understand where the company's coming from, whereas most realtors do not. And quite a few realtors will call me and ask me questions. So if you want someone to work on your behalf for purchasing something that is very different, it's not the average purchase. It is becoming more popular because of the cost of homes in Niagara. So if you like what you hear, I'm here every Tuesday at noon. Please follow along and hopefully that answered some of your land leasing questions. Vanessa Wilson, sales representative for Coldwell Banker Momentum Realty and owner of Niagara Living Real Estate Limited. Thank you. Have a great day.